know some of you think that I make this stuff up, but you know, how difficult can it be for Auto Trail to actually fix down the fixings? This thing isn't even fixed down. Look at it. There's no screw down there, there's no hole or anything. They're not even bothered fixing it down. There we go. Got a nice screw down there now. So it's all nice and fixed in. Nice and tight. Yeah, it's not going anywhere now. So I was saying this to Greg Virgo made a comment about when I was going to move these pipes and change them. And I said to him, it's really weird, because he said the pipes at the top get hotter than the ones at the bottom. And yet you can clearly see there that this top pipe went to that hole there, which I've removed, and that top pipe, just see it under there, goes to that back one there. So those are the hottest pipes on the heating system. However, if you look at the lower pipe there, that's the one that goes all the way out to the van. It goes like through the toilet, around and through in the cab area. So I'm going to swap them over on this side, obviously, so that the long tube that goes all the way through the toilet and everything is one up on the hotter of the outlets. The other hot outlet there, the top one, I'll probably reconfigure that so it comes into the centre of the van, because you know, when it goes out that way in the centre of the van, it needs to push out lots of heat as well. And then that lower vent, then I'll probably reroute that around and under there, so then that blows out across the back of the van. Still haven't worked out what I'm doing with that one yet, but somewhere across the back of the van I'm going to have it blowing out as an air curtain. So we'll see how that one pans out. But yeah, it just shows you that whoever's putting all this together really kind of like doesn't seem to understand how it works. So I've taken off this piece of wood, which is the side that normally comes down here. So it's just a case of working out where that pipe flows to a certain point where it's easy to insert that, so I can then have my outlet sticking out here. Now, I was hoping to get it down there, but there just isn't the space to have one coming out of there and have another one coming out of there. There's just no way to insert a T-piece over a T-piece. So I think the only way really is to do that, to put it up there, and then obviously with the vent you can then still have it blowing out this way or into that way. And what I need to do then is kind of like get that, put it in situ in that area as best I can so everything lines up, and then mark out where this hole appears, so I can drill a hole in the side of that, insert this, and hopefully they'll all match up, because that and that kind of like match up. And yeah, I want to make sure that when I put that panel back on, that panel goes there, everything matches up, and there's no kind of like heat being wasted around the back. So there we go, all finished off now. Got the two vents. We've got one down here which we can use for heating off the cab area, but we can shut off at night so it doesn't bother Cooper, and then one over here which then we can use to heat this area around the centre of the van. So at this juncture it's time to put some lights under the storage area. So what I'm doing at the moment is putting some of these lights, the same LED strips I put in the cupboard, and I'm going to put them in the storage area under there, and I'm going to put lights underneath each of the beams so that it illuminates all that area, so it all looks nice and bright when you need to go down there and get stuff out in the middle of the night or whatever. I'm going to put the switch up there so it's easy to get to from that side. Right then, it's now time to wire it in and switch on the grand switch on, like Blackpool illuminations. Just as cold, probably just as unimpressive. So I've got my switch and everything ready to plug into the lights. I just need to wire it into my fuse box. So the first thing I'm going to do now is just prepare the fuse box. I've got some fuses, got my crimping set. I just need to strip some wires and get it all connected up. So, are you ready for the big reveal? Woo! Look at it, it's great. No, I meant the big reveal. Oh yeah. Plenty of light under there, see what you're doing. Get to everything you need to. I can get to all the electrics down there and see solar panel stuff. I have to finish off doing the little wiring of the switch and everything yet. But I just thought I'd see what the lights look like. I've got some more pipe than the heat pipe, which is for the second part of the heating system down the bottom end to redirect those ducts. So we get more heat in the middle of the van and more heat up the back area for the storage and the back doors. Okay, so there we have our top vent, which pushes air into the middle of the cab. A little bit of a butterfly on there that you can spin around as well, so you can get a bit of directionality with it. You can pump it up or do whatever you want. And then down the back there is a Y piece, so that's allowing this side here to pump warm air on the floor. And again, just like this one, there's a butterfly thing in there. And then the top piece, which is the wrong one, so I've kind of like bodged it a little bit. I need to order the right one that fits in there. But the top piece basically pushes air upwards, again with the butterfly effect, so you can put air up the back doors. So that's my heating duct sort of version 1 sorted. I may change it in the future. I need to obviously make it a slight bit neater, but it was freezing today. I just wanted to get it done, so at least the rest of the work I can do, I can have the heating on in the van. Now we're slowly rising, 7 degrees now, so a little bit warmer. Got the heating on. So remember, one of our kind of like pet hates were how bright it is in here at night. So I've looked for ways to reduce it, and I saw at the show, if you've watched that video, that on the new ones now it's a strip lamp, and I thought, oh, I could do that with it. But it means having to change all the wood. I'd have to take all that wood out there, and the wood that goes over the top of the cupboards actually goes behind the cupboard as well. So like say for example there, I'd have to change this entire piece of wood, because that sits, it's part of this cupboard structure. Either that or take all these out carefully and then skim it over with another piece of wood to then mount the strip on like they've got. So yeah, I kind of like went down the, wouldn't say easier option, but maybe the neater option, which is get a dimmer control switch, a bit like I put in the T6. So you can switch them on and off and dim the lights as well. But the issue with that is there's only 2 of these sockets there, and I didn't really want to put another one and move them all over and do all that. Yes, I could do, but I like the neatness of that being there and that there, and they match up. So I found these. It's like in one of those spaces you can have 4 switches, so it takes over the 4 switches. Obviously I'll then have one spare, because one of these switches is for the lights, and that's where that's going to be. So that's what that's going to do. So yeah, that's the job I'm going to take on now. So the dimmer switch needs an earth as well as a live in and out. So there's no earth in the back of there for any of this. All these wires, they're pulling from the source, so there's no earth up there. So I'm just putting an earth in now. The worst part about doing all this is fiberglass. I'm getting itchy hands like hell. I'm going to have to trim away at that so these switches fit in there better. You know what that means? Fiberglass. I'm gonna get fiberglass everywhere. So that's all our switch panel, all upgraded now. So like I say, I wanted to keep them both kind of the same, so it fitted in with the original kind of wire and everything without making more holes. So that is backlight. That's the front cab light, the top light. That's the outdoor light, and that one's spare, so I can wire something else in there if I ever need to. And then on this one here is the front lights. So we've got on and off, and then once they're on, you can then dim them down for a bit of mood lighting at night time. Oh yeah, ladies. Well, just Mandy actually. So in the entranceway now, obviously when we walk in, we've now got this little switch, and that just puts a little light up there. So you'd walk in and you'd be like, oh, where's the panel? Whereas now, with the nice light, with a little switch down there, you can see the panel, so you can get to turn on the lights, switch that one off, and then we're done. We also put another one of those dimmer USB lights there, So we've got one over in that corner now, so that means that when Mandy's charging a phone or a Kindle at night, she can plug them straight in up there. And on that one there, I've put a little pocket there as well for my mobile phone, so when I charge my phone at night I can just plug it straight in there as well. So I've got a nice little Wi-Fi hotspot there. That's also the transmitter for the Garmin rear camera, which is just up there. We have got another one that came with the van which works on the rear view mirror kind of thing, but it's only a very down kind of like angle to it, just see over the back doors. So that one has better angle, so you can see like a normal rear view mirror behind you, so that's quite cool. I need to tighten these wires up and get them out of the way a little bit, but essentially they are all going to, and that little thing on the roof is the 4G 3G antenna Wi-Fi system booster, whatever, for this little box here. So that gives us a signal wherever we go then, and it's mounted up there permanently now, so much better that way anyway. So at least it's got it sorted. The reason why there's wires everywhere and haven't wired sort of neatly, as you might sort of say, is I'm really cautious about drilling through the side of the van. I was thinking whether I drill through there, you know, sort of like put a hole through there and put the camera wires through, and then put a hole there and have the aerial come through, because that drops into this space so I can hide all the wires. I may do that in the future, but for now I'm just going to see how it goes with the wires coming through there, and see if I get any door leaks or anything problems with the wires. So that's the heating all sorted out now. Like I said, there are a few adjustments to it just to neaten up some of those tubes and the outlets, but I'm just going to see how they go with that. It's difficult trying to keep the space free for storage and trying to box things in. I don't want to waste space boxing things in. I know things might not look attractive and professionally fitted and that kind of thing, but right now I'm more concerned about using the storage space that we've just kind of released for use than I am about sort of finishing things off so they look pretty. But that is one of my jobs, so later on in the year, in the summer or something like that, if this is the way that the heating ducts work the best, then I will make something, probably 3D print or something like that, to finish off the area around it, cowling or something, just to make it look better. But yeah, quite happy with the way that's turned out. It doesn't half get the van nice and warm now, especially having it correctly piped in using the correct upper and lower pipes, so that heating now is all brilliant. I'm really happy with the electrics, the new switches and dials and the new entry lights and the extra charging points we've got, and having the 4G booster all sort of permanently powered in and everything like that. That's all great. I've got a couple more adjustments to make on things like that, like I say, just to work out whether I'm going to drill holes in the side of the van to get wires in a bit neater or whatever. I'll work that one out another time. But for now, that's really it for this little video. So thanks for watching. Take care and we'll see you soon. Bye.